Hi, hello, I'm Future Jono, and Lycan Colony is terrible at best. Originally released in 2006 with a promise to be forever forgotten into obscurity, but no, Visual Vengeance decided to press this digitally shot and highly compressed movie to Blu-ray. Here is the original DVD cover, and this is the updated cover. Yep, taking extreme liberties with reality here. Oddly enough, none of these covers feature any of the wolves in the movie.
This seems like a cash grab.
The movie opens with a classic staple of so bad it's bad movies with a day for night shot in the woods. For those of you new to the party, day for night means they filmed during the day and slathered over a blue filter to give it the not so good illusion of being at night. It never looks good. Get used to this technique, we're going to see it a lot. These hunter guys are chasing a little boy, which they call a pup. Get it? It's a young werewolf. They have him pinned down, but he escapes somehow, and, this happens? What happened? I think Microsoft Paint killed him. The other hunters go back to back while the camera switches to predator mode. This gives them the perfect opportunity to vogue. They do this for several hours before finally slipping and falling out of view.
I just fell on my bottom into some butterscotch.
And title card.
Fly, little angel of mine, and Godspeed be with you on your way.
Your winner.
This transitions seamlessly into Dr. Stock footage as he performs his famous ketchup hands routine. You say tomata, I say nada, tomata, nada. Now we're in the kitchen where mom character chops a single red pepper once. She calls for her son to come down, which he does so very graciously. Dad character helps him up and they go to the kitchen to say hi to mom character.
Hey babe, what's cooking?
Your tail if you don't finally take that garbage out.
She's cranky because the family had to move away from their old town in order for Dad to find work.
I'm in a pissed off mode about moving, aren't you, dear? We had to go where I could find work. What this town needs is a doctor, and they are happy to get me.
Apparently something happened at the last hospital Dr. Dad worked at.
Your father has a drinking problem.
One day at a time and all that.
Mom goes on to explain that Dr. Dad performed surgery on a woman while drunk, which resulted in her death, and that this is the reason they had to move towns. The son is disturbed by this and leaves. But don't worry, he'll get over it.
One day at a time and all that.
Dr. Dad goes to throw out the trash and it's spooky. After some stock music and rustling sounds, a man pops out and surprises Dad.
Hi, Dan. Jeez, Dave, cut the crap.
Relax,
Why are you
Dan.
sneaking up on me?
It's his AA sponsor Dave, who wonders why he's not been to any meetings since moving. He also randomly emasculates him.
Sounds like your whip, Dr. Dan. You used to have balls of brass and control. You never let a woman push you around.
He's got a point though. AA, bossy women, it all connects. He tells him that a meeting is tonight and that he needs to be there. Then he slinks back into the trees. The son is in his bedroom sitting in the dark and playing guitar. A door knocking sound alarms him, but we see it's actually coming from the window. Oh hey, day for night. It turns out it's a neighbor girl named Sarah who is very younger than him. He lets her in and she flirts with him, making him go gaga.
Wow.
You boys, so predictable.
After an awkward fade jump cut, Girl Scout Cookies makes her move.
I'm so bored. Wanna get out of here?
They gleefully run down the sidewalk as we transition to the town hall where the AA meeting is taking place. Dr. Dad is suddenly curious about the town's health.
By the way, does anybody get sick in this town or what? I've yet to hear of one broken leg from a kid falling from a tree, let alone a serious ailment. Even a few elderly are spry and energetic. They'll outlive us all. Something in the water?
I'm sure this shot was meant to be foreshadowing, but it's more akin to comedic timing. Also, the cups are completely empty. Like, look at this jug for frick's sake. It's a clear bottle. Oh hey, it's the son in Sweet 16, doing what all the kids do after Day for Dark, gallivanting through the local graveyard. The ADR in this scene is absolutely stellar. 3-star Michelin.
What's the matter? You can't keep up?
Sorry, don't go rock climbing.
Yeah, do it in these shoes and you get really good.
Man, you're kind of weird.
To say nothing of yourself.
Great. Let's check back on Dr. Dad and Dave. Looks like the meeting has wrapped for the day for night and Dave suggests getting a coffee. I love how obvious it is they're shooting during the day. They are both visually squinting from the sun. Back at the graveyard, Braceface and clueless son begin making out over one of the graves. You know, super normal teenager stuff. She looks up to see a not full moon and becomes a sort of vampire and bites the son on the chest.
I'm sorry. I got a little worked up.
What do you do when you really like a guy? Devour him?
I guess you just brought the animal out in me.
Sonny Boy is freaked out and goes home, leaving Grave Girl behind. Don't worry, he'll get over it.
One day at a time and all that.
Then, in one of the worst shots imaginable, Dr. Dad and Dave make their way through a Day for Dark alley to a cafe, bar, diner, restaurant, gas station. But before they go inside, the movie says, wait, just kidding, let's go check back on the sun. He's in bed but can't sleep and is tossing and turning to the most on-the-nose song ever. He gets these cool contact lenses and werewolf teeth and howls. The entire sequence is really long, lasting nearly 2 minutes, and yes, other werewolf transformations took just as long or longer, but they were actual transformations that were really detailed and from multiple angles. This is just a guy rocking back and forth to a god-awful song. Dr. Dad and Dave's Lord of the Rings trek to the damn coffee bar diner is finally at its close. And look, it's finally nighttime. I guess this trip really was that long. They go inside and order coffee from Biker Bartender.
Gonna get you guys.
Coffee, Zev. Just coffee.
Right now.
Dr. Dad wonders why his sponsor would take him to a bar of all places.
Just real-life practice of self-control, Dan. Temptations everywhere, all the friggin' time. You just can't give in to them. Besides, they serve a mean fucking steak here.
Now there's something else I thought I'd never have again. Sandy's got all of us on a soy-sucking vegetarian diet. If I see one more hunk of tofu, I'm gonna lose it.
While Dad and Dave chow down on their sloppy steaks, a couple of Matrix cosplayers who turn out to be brother and sister enter the bar restaurant and conveniently sit at a table next to them. Biker Bartender greets them with menus.
So what brings you next to my part of the woods?
Our father went missing 3 weeks ago. He was a hunter. Last we heard, he was tracking in the woods around here. Have you seen him?
Can't say as I have. Then again, all hunters look the same to me.
After Biker Bar takes their order, Dr. Dad turns to the newcomers and presents his best Elmer Fudd impersonation.
Can we borrow your ketchup?
Yeah, take it.
Great job.
Dr. Dad recognizes the tattoo and asks Mr. Beefcake if it's Special Forces.
Ex-Navy SEAL, how'd you know?
Some years ago, I was an Army doctor. I've seen that tat before, on elite Special Forces men.
Mr. Beef says his father was also Special Forces and asks if he's seen him around.
Sergeant Allen, small world.
You've seen him?
He tells him he knew him but hasn't seen him around. The siblings ask if Dad and Dave would like to join them at their table, where names are finally tossed out.
I'm Dave, by the way.
I'm Doug.
Russ.
I'm Dan.
Nice to meet you.
After some time, Dr. Dad mentions that their father was awarded a gold watch that had an inscription, one they both not only memorize, but also poorly recite together.
Few are those who rise above the fears that rise before them.
So, can I get you guys anything? Where did you get this watch?
I would like to point out that I did not edit this part at all. A mystery was set up.
I remember when he was awarded that gold watch at his retirement.
Few are those who rise above the fears that rise before them.
And instantly solved in the same breath.
Where did you get this watch? I found it.
Mistake!
This should be the ultimate defense when accused of anything, by the way. Biker Tender makes a run for it while Dad, Doug, and Russ go after him. They go into the kitchen. Wait, freeze frame.
Mistake!
They give chase through the kitchen and into a pitch-black storage room where the bartender's shirt is floating in midair. It tells them that Doug and Russ's father did die there, but provides some ironic comfort.
Your daddy's still with you. Where do you think the good meat comes from in this place? Cows? There's a bit of dear old dad in each of you now.
The shirt morphs into a shadow, and it's anyone's guess what happens next. Dr. Dad and Russ wake up on a green screen and discover that Doug's throat has been slashed. Dad puts his dirty napkin from dinner over the wound and stares at Doug as he dies. He's supposed to be a doctor, right?
One day at a time and all that.
Russ angrily leaves, vowing revenge, while Dad plays first-round peekaboo with Doug. This is going to take a while. Dad catches up to Russ and thinks, maybe Wolfman Bartender is hiding in the walk-in freezer. Oh my god, it's pretend dead bodies. They then head upstairs to find another bar.
Smells like wet dog in here.
Then a wet dog jumps out. So, it looks like there are multiple wolves in this room now, all played by the same actor, in the same costume, with the same makeup. Not confusing at all. I didn't have to rewind this section 17 times to understand that. Dr. Dad is behind the bar and decides he's going to try and tunnel out using his hands. This is a real tactic, and I guess it works because this happens. Either that or he found a portal gun. Thanks, Chell. It appears the room he lands in is a storage area for the double-decker bar, complete with casting couch. He lumbers across the room and teleports to Brick and Pipe World, where he uses his portal gun again to get outside where Dave magically is.
Oh, Dave, this is a terrible dream I'm having. Once I wake up, I have to tell you about it in group therapy.
Come on, this way.
Brilliant. Back at the bar, Russ is fighting all the one werewolves and makes her escape by jumping through bad graphics. She makes it back to her car and drives away in a rare moment of actual nighttime. We cut to Mom character who is sleeping on the couch for some reason with her white noise machine set to Snoring Bridge Troll. Low-rent Nosferatu shadows over her, practicing his sign language skills. This spooks Mom character, so she runs away and into the bathroom. After some time, she decides that she must have the ability to see through doorknobs. She doesn't, and she can't. Teen Wolf bursts into the mustard bathroom and closes in on Mom. Despite the makeup artist having the day off, things get really intense. Until... Russ is speeding down the road but notices she has a flat.
Not a flat.
When she goes to investigate, Dave shows up and she's not into it, threatening him with a tire iron.
Nice.
She pulls a gun on him and asks how he was able to catch up to her.
Dr. Dan's on his way home. We slipped away. Well, you created that diversion of yours.
How do I know you're not one of them?
I am one.
I'm guessing Dave is like a good werewolf because he allows Russ to duct tape him. Now she can go back to fixing her tire. Oh, he helps her with that too. Dr. Dad finally makes it back home to find Mom character sitting on the couch and Teen Wolf cowering in one of Grandma's throws. Instinctually, Dad grabs a chair and decides to WrestleMania him with it before Mom intervenes and tells him that it's their son.
Of course he is.
End scene. Russ finishes changing her tire and Dave suggests they go to Dr. Dad's place to regroup. When they arrive, Russ's gun evolves into a shotgun as they make their way through the doctor's home. Dad comes out, grabs a beer, followed by Mom Jeans, and then finally Never Nude Teen Wolf.
Huh, scared. Of course he's scared. He's just a 17-year-old boy who suddenly turned into a goddamn werewolf.
Dave tells Russ and the fam that the wolf's wild nature can be subdued by tap water. Yep, remember that earlier scene? Tap water. Or empty cups, I don't know. Dave says that the water supply of the town has slight traces of silver in it, which helps to suppress the werewolfness.
Okay!
Wait a minute. I thought silver killed werewolves. Like in the movies.
The movies? The fucking movies. They twist and turn everybody's concept of us into something negative. We're looked upon as demon dogs, pets of Satan, dim-witted animals. Ha! To answer your question, yes, we are allergic to silver, but in its purest form. But in small amounts, it can have municipal purposes.
They take Teen Wolf to the couch to rest while the silver goes through his system and meet at the kitchen table. In some of the best eye acting I've ever seen, Dave spills the beans.
We are known as lycanthropes. No longer human, not animal. We're not bred in this beast, and we're not cursed. We have families, jobs, basic simple life. Same as your norms.
Norms?
Sorry, it's just a slang term we use with people without the gene. I didn't mean it as a racist remark.
Yeah, no one likes being called a norm.
How's life treating you, Norm? I just ran over its dog.
We can't live amongst your norms, but we also want regular lives. Live amongst our own in peace. Fucking damn Amish can do it. Why can't us?
Why can't us indeed? Dave goes on to explain that just like the norms, there are bad werewolves and good werewolves, and he's been undercover trying to infiltrate Wolfman Bartender and his norm killing. I mean, you could have just opened the freezer, dude. After another hour of this, the scene fades into the next day, I guess? Whoa, it's Dr. Dad, being served! The actors all begin to aggressively chow down on the meat before them, even licking their plates. Oh, and Beefcake Bro is there too, clearly filmed separately for some reason. Then we get 30 full seconds of Russ licking her fingers, as if we needed another niche fetish in this movie.
Still dreaming, Doc?
Oh heck, it was a dream sequence the whole time! No duh movie.
One day at a time and all that.
Oh look, Teen Wolf has reverted back to Teen. He leaves to put some clothes on for God's sake.
Stuart, you shit all over the sofa.
After a gratuitous weapons montage, Russ reluctantly agrees to join Dave's quest to hunt down the big bad wolves.
So how'd all this happen? This town, all these werewolves?
Great question, and a perfect opportunity to introduce a new character. Dave takes Russ to see Athena, the resident witch, because why fucking not? First werewolves, now witches. Now if we just add some ghosts to Frankenstein and a couple vampires...
Baby, you got a stew going.
Athena is very sexual towards Dave before focusing on Russ.
And who's this sweet young piece of meat?
This is Russ. She needs our help and we need hers.
Okay, David, show me. Ooh, girl, you've had quite a night.
So the witch can read, or in this case, taste your memories?
Okay.
So, you want to hear about our sleepy, creepy little town, do you?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh. I'm okay.
Witchy Eyes tells the not long at all and super interesting story of the town's origins set to imaginative animation and very convincing green screen effects. Because in real life, nature is incredibly blurry. Not that it matters or holds any relevance to the rest of the movie, here is the story in brevity. In ancient times, a wise and powerful shaman protects the village and goes out one day with a group of tribespeople to search for food for the winter, and after a few weeks, only the shaman's brother returns to the village, and then he tells the story about how the group got trapped in a cave because it was raining, and also there is a bear, and one of the others got injured and died, and then the group ate his remains in order to survive, which overtook the shaman's brother who decided to eat everyone until he became a powerful lunatic, which convinced the shaman to cast the brother out and put a curse on him, so that he would become a beast and also be much more powerful under the full moon for some reason, which the shaman hoped would be a good example to others on why not to eat other people. However, using this power to his advantage, the brother would go on to attack the other tribespeople in the form of a large man-wolf man, which made some of them, not all of them, turn into man-wolf people as well. But some of the man-wolf people stayed good, while the others joined the brother to be bad, and so the shaman blessed the good wolves with invulnerability and stuff, but only if they stay in the town. Otherwise, if they leave, their lifespan shortens and they get weak. Whew. Back to you, Bewitched. I guess that story was long because now it's nighttime again at the Doctor household. Teen is laid down on his bed while anonymous dad watches from afar and Dave rifles through Teen's stuff.
Stuart, where did you get those? Never mind, I don't want to know.
And neither do we. Dave handcuffs the son to his bed and gives him some sleepy drugs while his mother straddles over him in what is shaping up to be perfect blackmail material for when the son decides to get into politics. After a magical cut to black, Dave teleports to a green screen forest to meet with Russ. And just like in real life, the sounds of nature are much louder than the dialogue, which was recorded in an army surplus filing cabinet.
Over this ridge is a path that leads to a large opening in the forest.
Our fearless heroes map out a plan to take down Bartender Werewolf and his clan. Oh my god, it's Super Mario! Russ climbs over some rocks while a battle between the diegetic sound effects and the non-diegetic music rages on.
I'm not creative. I'm unforgiving.
And hey, it's actually night for once. Whoops, spoke too soon. Russ continues her path as she is being followed by a werewolf. She crosses bridges, climbs trees, looks through binoculars that converts nighttime to daytime, etc., etc. Whoa there, film editor, could you have eased us into this maybe? We abruptly cut to Dave performing naked werewolf yoga while constipated. He's also floating in front of a photograph that might have been taken while jogging. The screen goes all video toaster on us before switching to a new shade of lipstick. This goes on for some time as the vocal track of an Enya song plays. Well, back to Russ. She gets yanked from the tree by a werewolf, and the shock is so great it transports her to yet another green screen. She forgets how guns work and decides to choke out the werewolf instead of shooting it. Then the image in the green screen runs out in the editing timeline before awkwardly fade cutting to another werewolf attack. The remaining footage for this epic brawl gets put into the meat grinder to dizzying effect. Somehow, Russ rips out the heart of one of the werewolves and squeezes it to simulate a beating heartbeat. This transports her back to the forest.
Hairy motherfucker. Hairy motherfucker.
She says it twice.
Twice? 2 times.
Doug.
Hey, it's Beefcake Brother. He turned into a werewolf. Don't worry, he's a good boy and is going to help Russ on her quest. Suddenly, a wild furry stumbles out of a bad photo and fetishizes a gun. He takes aim and fires. In a flash, another werewolf pops into existence to take the bullet for Russ and Wolfbro. But this also injures the furry somehow? Not entirely sure what happened here, but it turns out the bullet-taking wolf is Dave, and furry convention is bartender werewolf.
Mistake!
They dig the bullet out of Dave before attaching a shock collar and handcuffs to bartender furry. As Russ and Wolfbro try to figure out what to do, David Lynch's red room starts to creep into the forest. That's when Bar Furry breaks out of his handcuffs and unleashes the back of his paw, which knocks out Russ. And look who showed up to the party, it's Witchy Witch. Doing this. So after whatever the hell just happened, Witchy Witch approaches Russ and... You know, when this movie was primarily presented in Day for Night, I rolled with it. And when this movie tried to pass off one actor portraying several wolves, I rolled with it. And with the already crazy, specific, weird fetish stuff going on, now we just have to watch as a grown woman literally licks the wounds of another woman until she is healed.
Woo, girl!
Russ wakes up and reattaches the shock collar to Bar Biker Furry Convention, which gives him the hippie shakes.
For goodness sake, I got the hippie shakes.
With the big bad wolf captured, they pass through the Red Room Woods where the ancient shaman greets them. She slow-mos her way through each character silently before kneeling over cosplay to let out a scream. This summons the end boss from Earthbound. Deep Cut. Furry Convention reverts back to Biker Bartender, stripped of his powers.
He has been stripped of all his lycanthrope essence. I will not kill him. I will leave that to your judgment.
Whoa. It actually looked real.
With everything wrapped up in a nice little bow, we see Teen and Babysitter Club dancing on the lawn, Dr. Dad and Mom character embracing, and Russ and Wolfbro meeting up with Dave to share a bench. As a pathetic attempt to offer a sort of twist, it's revealed the pup from the opening of the movie is actually Witchy Witch's son.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And that's it. Load up the bad JPEG and roll credits. At its best, Lycan Colony offers up cheesy one-liners, a pretty okay-looking wolf mask, and plenty of action. At its worst, its overuse of day for night, bad green screen effects, and inadequate audio mixing make most of the movie unwatchable. As far as bad movie watching goes, I'd give this a 4 out of 9 plans from outer space. Yep, that's the rating system. It's super clever, I know. Outside of a few hilarious moments, there are just too many cringy actions, confusing edits, and really long and boring exposition scenes. It's certainly not worth spending the $25 Visual Vengeance is charging for the Blu-ray, even with all the worthless extras they jam in here. Well, maybe the air freshener. Who doesn't want their house smelling like a shitty movie?